Welcome into the live stream here for McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler.
What it is, sir.
How are you?
Welcome back.
Back for a day.
Back for a day. I mean, I forgot what the studio felt like. It's been a minute. Buttons to push.
Yep.
You know, it's like a well-worn shirt. Just feels brings you back home. It's kind of like having that salt water in your lungs. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Just brings you back home.
Yep.
So it's great to be back in the studio for one day.
Spent Thursday, Fridays, almost 5 full days in Milwaukee.
Get one day back.
Get a little over a day back. Got back about 7:15 last night. Get a little more than about a day.
Let's go 36 hours.
About a day and a half. A little bit more than a day and a half, and then I'm off to Atlanta tomorrow.
Hot Atlanta.
Yep. Off to Atlanta for NCAA Tournament. Sweet 16 did not have Ole Miss in the Sweet 16 on the old budget when this got started. So who knows?
Hey, you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Nope, you never know.
It's a good little run. Good little run.
Yeah, tournament was fun. Milwaukee was great. Really cool city. Really kind of, we'll put it on the list of places I'd like to go back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How's it rank up there with Boise?
Oh, it's better than Boise.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I've told you before, I think I was maybe sort of meant to be Midwestern a little bit.
Yeah, you are.
Me and Midwestern people, we get along.
I like it.
We get along.
I like it.
So it was cool. Beautiful facility where the Bucks play. Just absolutely spectacular.
That's so does Marquette play in the same arena?
No, I'm not sure where Marquette plays. University of Wisconsin Milwaukee plays in the Bucks old arena, which is right down the street from the Bucks new arena.
Gotcha. So, but the new arena was where this was located. Tournament was.
The new arena where the Milwaukee Bucks play in the NBA is where the NCAA tournament was held. Fantastic. The people at Marquette ran the tournament. They did a phenomenal job. Just a phenomenal job. It was incredibly well done. I mean, I'd love to pick some stuff apart. I got nothing. It's great, from security to
you have to have some security.
Well, you always like the idea of there being some security in a media room like that because you leave your computer at times.
That's true.
And, you have stuff like
these are facts.
Jackets and backpacks and stuff. You like to know that there are people that are kind of watching, and they did a really good job out of a very walkable city. I walked pretty much everywhere.
Okay.
It's 2 cities in a row, Nashville and Milwaukee, where I've just been walking.
Bet you won't be doing it this week.
No, I won't be we actually the media hotel is pretty close to State Farm Arena, and they actually sent walking directions today.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's no parking and there's no shuttle, so you have no choice but to walk.
What's that Uber number?
Yeah, I don't know that you could. I don't know.
Nah.
We'll see.
Just saying. Ain't your boy's first ride.
No, it's true.
You down in my neck of the woods. Ain't my first ride.
That is true.
You ready to roll? Let's do it.
Sure. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Welcome to episode 269 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Tuesday, March the 25th. Hope everyone had a great weekend, having a great start to your week as we roll out the end of March and get ready for April. Everybody says from Atlanta, don't walk. I literally, it's one of those deals where from the hotel to there, I'm going to have to walk, and so we'll figure it out. If I don't come back, I don't come back. Laura will be a lot wealthier.
We'll be sad, though. We'll be sad we won't have our scoops.
I mean, y'all can all have like a couple of minutes of mourning, and then everybody move on.
You said you didn't want anything.
Oh, I don't want anything.
I mean, you got to make your mind up.
So
you want us to mourn or no?
I would prefer that you not. I will repeat what I've said many times. If anyone ever attends my funeral, as you're sitting there, know that you are doing that against my wishes.
I'm doing it.
Well, then it won't be you up. It won't be up to you. It'll be people closer to me than you who made the decision.
I'm telling Laura I'm coming. I'm telling Laura, by gosh, I'm coming. Carson will let me in. Carson
there won't be one. That's
Carson
the point is there won't be
something.
There won't be anything to attend.
We're gonna. I'll make something to attend. We're going. We're pouring one out for our homie. By the way, this is just how my brain works. So we've had ghost issue. My ghost issues in the past.
Yes,
I've been really good. I haven't had really anything ghosty in a long time. Today. So in my life, I have to multitask. I got too much shit going on. And so I have to make a shit ton of phone calls. So when I go, because I can't run anymore, when I go walking, I will make all of my phone calls while I'm walking. Okay. So I'm walking. So I got AirPods in. I'm walking, talking to a ton of schools, all that stuff, clients, things like that, right? Doing all my calls. Finished my calls. I had about 15 minutes left in my walk. I finished all the calls I needed to make today. And I just wanted to walk in peace. I was tired of talking. Shocker. So I turned everything off. And I'm walking down. There's no one around me. The path that I go on. And this is not like off some beaten path. It's out. This will be on South Lamar, way down South Lamar. There's some apartments. I go walking up this hill. So it's a sidewalk, the whole deal. And I hear someone running, like they're going to pass me.
Okay.
So, I literally hear the footstep like that loud to where I had my AirPods in, I didn't have any music on. I turn around and look.
Okay.
There was nothing. And I don't think I'm going crazy. I take my AirPods out, walk about another 15 feet. I got chills down my left side to where my whole left side just went straight chill bumps. And they started again, and they were running right next to me. Like, literally, you could hear the feet hitting the concrete. It is dead still, dead silent. There's not even birds chirping. No cars, no nothing. And somebody's feet were running right next to me.
How about that? It's a ghost running.
I call bullshit on that.
Well, if it wasn't a ghost, then what was it?
I don't know, but I was literally I was like, have you watched is it 0 Day? Have you watched the new show on Netflix with Robert De Niro?
I have not.
Oh, very good. But I started to feel like I'm having the Robert De Niro disease where they were shooting the mind thing in my head.
I will say that we haven't seen our ghost in a while, so it is possible that our ghost
was out running with me today.
Followed you home one day.
Yeah, but something was running right next to me today. I did not think that was very funny. I was like, this is bullshit. I literally said out loud, I said, this is bullshit.
It didn't try to harm you.
No, but that was not cool. I literally felt I had goosebumps on my left side, just my left arm.
Maybe it runs that path every day and you just got in the way.
But yeah.
It didn't bother you.
Nope.
It was harmless. Like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Why is it that we all assume that every ghost is like a bad ghost? It could be a good ghost, right?
I don't care. I just don't want to fuck with them.
Well, it didn't mess with you.
It did mess with me.
No, it didn't. It was going for a run.
It touched me.
No.
Something did.
You felt its presence.
Whatever. I don't want to feel anybody's presence. That's what I got a 3-time world champ at home for.
You felt
sorry, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron.
My bad.
Truer words have never been spoken than sorry, Aaron.
My bad.
This ghost was going for a run. You happened to be there. It didn't bother you.
Yeah, not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool. All right, let's crank
We're
her
brought
up.
to you by Rain Total Body Fuel.
have.
We've already cranked it up. 300 milligrams, natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits, achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoops, I'm rocking with the tropical today. Get my mind right for the 7 hours of baseball I get to watch in a little bit. By the way, today's the day, Scoops. Today is the concession stand review day of all days. This has been building up to the Lewisburg trip today. It's building up to the Lewisburg trip. Lewisburg's like the Cadillac, big standard over there. So it's been coming. This is the one. So got that tonight. Scoops, the Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping. And at Cooper Chevrolet, remind everybody, March is Chevy Truck Month at Cooper Chevrolet. That's right. Cooper Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Hyundai. March is Chevy Truck Month. Get super low 2.9 APR for 72 months on select brand spanking new Chevy Silverados 2025 1500s. make sure you give our good friends at Cooper Chevrolet a call at area code 256-236-4481. That's area code 256-236-4481. Scoops, we're also brought to you by the official RV dealer of McCready and Siskey, County Line Campers. How about this? My guy Rob took care of me. He sent me a new reader today. This is County Line Campers. Spring has officially begun, and with that comes camping season. I know he's fired up. He starts his sale season. This week, County Line Campers is having our annual outdoor spring RV show at the Edgewater Mall in Biloxi, Mississippi. The show will run Thursday through Sunday, but the show pricing has already started. So beat the crowd and head over to County Line Campers on exit 38, I-10 in Gulfport, Mississippi, and pick out your new RV before it is scooped up by another happy camper. There is no time like the present to hit the road in the new RV. So come take advantage of the massing savings on all brand new 2025 models. If you're looking for something new or used, they have 30 pre-loved RVs that all need new homes. If you need financing, they have lenders arranged for special show financing incentives for this event. Make sure you follow them on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and check out Miss Destiny's walkthrough demos and all the YouTube videos. So stop making excuses and start making memories with your family that last for the rest of your life. When you think about camping, think about County Line Campers. Guy Rob's awesome. I told you I went down there, I guess that was last week, 2 weeks ago now. Also, they got campers and RVs. It's actually pretty cool to walk through. So everybody needs to go check them out. Scoops. I think that's it. I think I'll do the rest of them later. Yep, that's it for today. That's it for that. Nope, got one more. Gridiron Spice Company. I knew I was forgetting one.
There you go.
Gridiron Spice Company. All right, football fans, listen up. It's time to take your game day grub to the next level with Gridiron Spice Company. So I got some samples in the mail from Adam and the guys at Gridiron Spice Company. So I got one for show here. I brought this one up. This is the Hot Route. Hot Route. You know why I like Hot Route? You seen the movie, was it Wedding Crashers? When they have the football game, he goes, check, check, Hot Route. Vince Vaughn?
I have, yes.
All right, there you go. So this is the Hot Route. This is a sweet and spicy blend. And we got the triple option downstairs.
Yep.
The Go, as in the Bengal type. The Cajun seasoning.
G-E-A-U-X.
Long. And I can't remember the other one that we had. We had 4 of them.
The other one's like garlic and salt and pepper. It's kind of a basic.
So we're going to give these a roll. But make sure you go to Gridiron Spice Co. That's gridironspiceco.com. And when you get there, make sure you use the promo code SCOOPS to get 10% off there at Gridiron Spice Co.
Austin, thank you for the super chat. He says, I've been wanting to hear both of your opinions on this. Why do some commentators refuse to call Ole Miss by its name? Instead, they call them Mississippi. It feels very intentional and kind of woke. Your thoughts?
I don't think it's intentional.
There's a couple that do it intentionally.
Really?
Yeah. AP does it because it's style. They're not announcers. It's AP style to use Mississippi at first reference, and then you can call them Ole Miss after that. There are a couple of announcers that do it intentionally. Ole Miss ask the TV people not to do it, but it's not like you can go demand that they not do it. And so, I don't know. I mean, there are some people that view the term as offensive. I'm obviously not one of those people. Whatever. I don't know.
I haven't noticed it, to be honest with you. I haven't noticed it, but from coaching here, I know people would call us Mississippi, and then some people even call us the University of Ole Miss. You know, so I mean, I don't know. I don't get offended.
Sometimes kids commit publicly to the University.
That's
of
what I was referring to. Yeah. That's what I was referring for. Best recruiting moment in the history of the school, University of Ole Miss.
Yep.
Appreciate you, Rob. Appreciate you, dog. Hey, but it is what it is.
But I don't know the answer to that, Austin. I think this is one of those deals where probably he and I are both unqualified to really answer this question because neither one of us have any like emotional attachment to it, and therefore it's not it doesn't rub us the wrong way. Like it doesn't.
No Tucker.
It doesn't bother me when I hear people do it. I'm just like, whatever, you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm sure if I felt a strong affiliation with the school or something that it might bother me, but I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
I mean, it's definitely intentional. There's one in particular that I know does it because he thinks the term is offensive, which is again his prerogative.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally his prerogative.
I'm today years old when I knew this was the issue.
He views it as racist.
Calling Mississippi or Ole Miss?
Ole Miss.
Oh.
Which is, again, I mean, whatever.
Yeah. My give a shit meter so low is like below zero.
Yeah, mine just doesn't even activate on that. You know, there's a certain degree of control what you can control and let the rest kind of go. And
look at this guy.
I think that's one of those spots.
I agree. All right. Before we get to the meat of the deal, meat of today's show, I sent this to you. This happened literally probably 7 minutes after I emailed you the outline.
Okay.
Troy Taylor has been fired.
Yes.
At Stanford
by Andrew Luck.
As the football coach. I think it's really important. I told you to remind me, but I remembered. It is Tuesday, March the 25th at 2:14 p.m. Timestamp. So I think there was a report that came out last week or whatever about his alleged treatment of people in the building, particularly females. And then when you read the articles that have been so far that have been published on this deal, there have been 2 investigations. One that happened basically in the spring, I guess over a year ago, and then one that was concluded in July, another one in July. But there was nothing new in this, what was being reported. There was nothing new since July.
Yeah.
Feels very odd that on March the 25th, you're going to make a decision on something that
feels like there's something more.
Right. It feels like, to me,
what were the allegations? Was it sexual approach, or was it just
said? It didn't say like there was I shouldn't say this. Shouldn't be called a nothing burger, but treatment of women and how they dressed and things like that was in the article that I read. I think it was a New York Times article I read.
He commented on what they wore.
Yeah, I'm not saying the guy's right.
Right.
No. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, they fired him. He did something wrong, right? I mean, especially Stanford's pretty buttoned up when it comes to that stuff. He was warned, punished, like even fined, I think, in one of the articles I read. But my point is that in everything that I read as of 8:16 in the afternoon Central Time on March the 25th, there was been nothing since July. And so why March the 25th you decide to fire the coach? So either something we don't know everything just yet. Something else has happened that's not being reported.
Yeah.
But that seems very it seems very a unique timing. With that being said, I'd like to pour one out for my homies on all recruiting departments across America that are going, they got this news around lunch today and they're like, oh shit, pull up the Stanford film. Here we go. Like, you're firing a coach on March the 25th. They may not have a football team.
Yeah. Well, and that tells you that they felt like, at least this tells me, and again, that's a unique place, but this tells me that they felt like this was not going to be manageable.
Probably a good time for all you season total bettors to go ahead and try to jump on that Stanford season total before they pull it off the board.
Oh, I bet that bad boy's off the board.
Probably a good time. Yeah, that's just, I don't know.
That's, again, it's the damnedest thing, man. I mean, like, I don't know what he did or didn't do, but I've got guesses.
It's not good.
I mean,
you don't get fired on March the 25th.
If you're a grown man, rule 1, just life advice. Here we go. Life advice.
Talk to me, Cole.
Presented by Cole Walters, State Farm Insurance. Cole Walters is licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850. You can also find him online at colewaltersinsurance.com. Life advice. If you are a grown man and you are in a position of authority, any position of authority, you don't have to be a coach. You're running a business. You are the vice president of a department at a bank, whatever the case may be. Whatever the case may be. If she's a day under 25, she is completely off limits. And when I say completely off limits, you don't talk to her.
So completely off limits, period, because you work with them.
Yeah, you only talk to them if it is absolutely professional. And if you have to reprimand somebody for something that she's wearing, you should have a female do it.
All right, so I think I've told you this privately. I think when I went to Alabama. From that point on, and nothing happened. It became a bigger issue in athletics and in general. I would never have, I had a bunch of females that worked under me at
recruiting helpers
right?
and stuff, right? Hosts and stuff.
And so I had 3 females in particular that had, kind of senior positions in the recruiting department that kind of ran their areas. And I didn't say one word in the entire time I was there to any other female person but those 3. And if I was ever in a meeting with a female and had to have a closed door meeting about something, there was a male in there with me. There were third and fourth parties in there. I never had a one-on-one closed door meeting ever.
Is what it is, man.
And then when I came to Ole Miss, right when I got here, we built a recruiting department, which now thinks where Lane's office is in the building, Lane's office. But which was the old head coach's suite up there. We built where my office was. My office was completely, you saw it, it's completely glassed in. Completely glassed in.
Yeah.
They ain't getting you, boy. No, we're completely glassed in. So, and then sitting outside of that were 10 other people on their desk. So you ain't getting your boy. So I would better take that stuff into account.
So again, I don't know what he did or didn't do, but I'd be willing to bet that it was bad.
Yeah, you don't fire somebody. I mean,
I'd just be willing to bet that Andrew Luck looked at that and said, you know what, we're not going to be able to manage this.
Well,
Next.
It's got to be bad because Andrew Luck's a football guy. You have just blown up. You've punted football for 12 months. When you do that, you've punted before the season even started. So it's got to be, it ain't good.
No.
So, and I will tell you this. Let me tell you who it sucks for. Let me tell you who it sucks for.
His staff.
Sucks for the staff. Sucks for the staff.
Because they're going home today and wives and stuff are saying, what's the deal? And their answer is,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably not good.
Good news is most of their contracts have already been either re-signed or whatever for next year. So that's the good part.
There's some security, but they're picking up the phones today.
Yeah, and there's nobody to answer.
But they're waiting.
There's no answer because nobody's got really job.
So they're going to coach a lame duck season with their ear to the ground.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And all you can do is do the best job you can do.
That's it.
And there will be a coaching carousel that starts turning in November, and you just hop on, find your pony or dragon or whatever to ride, and get on top of it on the carousel.
Yes, bad.
When you were a little kid, what animal did you want to ride on the carousel?
Brother, you know what? I was never I rode a carousel, but I wasn't my thing.
Oh, really? See, my girls, especially Campbell, my oldest, we would.
I remember riding them, but I wasn't like.
Well, no, we would go, and there was one she wanted to ride a certain, like a gold horse or whatever.
Yeah.
And we'd get in line, and we'd race to get to the horse. And if somebody else got to the horse, we'd have to get back in the line and wait another turn. We were going to ride that horse. Carson was going to ride the dragon. If they had a dragon, we'll ride the dragon.
Yeah,
the unicorn, whatever the case was.
Yeah, I never.
Yes, sir. It was a big deal. Big. For whatever reason, the McCready kids were big on carousels when they were little.
I learned something new today. I wanted to ask Carson about it.
He won't remember.
Next time I see him, I'm just randomly gonna say, "Heard you're a big gold dragon guy."
He was big into dragon. He had a dragon phase at one point when he was little, like 2-3 years old.
Hey,
everything was dragons, man.
Because Carson and Jackson are the same age. All right, worst parenting moment. One of my worst parenting moments ever in Jonesboro. I was so excited for when, I was always looking. I'm a big movie guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was always excited about, hey, I can't wait till I get to take my kids to a movie. And they finally. So Jackson had to be, I don't know, Scoops. He had to be like 3 or 4, and How to Train a Dragon
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is going to be the first movie I take Jackson to. Okay.
Yeah.
He's 3 or 4. And we had a break. I don't remember if it was a spring break or Christmas. We had a break at coaching. And so I take him to like the 1:30 or 2 o'clock movie or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it's one of those 3D deals. Okay.
He wouldn't wear the glasses.
Well, he put them on. In the very first scene of the movie, that dragon comes up over the freaking hills. My man has we're sitting like middle of the row, with a bunch of people in there. He has a meltdown and just straight, get me out of here. Just meltdown. Very embarrassing moment as a parent. I felt terrible because I was pissed because I paid all that money to go to a movie and we were out of there in 13 seconds.
Well, Carson said he wanted to be a dragon, so we took him to the doctor. We had them.
Sammy, quit.
We had him
in the chat.
We had them attach a tail and some. We're still working on the fire being able to be breathing because we wanted him to feel,
Okay.
We wanted to accommodate his emotions as a young person. He had some confusion. He wanted to be a dragon, so we tried to accommodate that surgically.
Quit.
I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Quit. Not today.
No, just saying.
Scoots, we're on time today.
He said, I want to be a dragon, Dad. And I said, okay, son, let's go to the doctor.
Speaking of breathing fire. All right, let's go to basketball. All right. Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley, of the many things that he's done this year. Dan Hurley and our guy Trey Wallace actually tweeted this today or yesterday. I saw it last night. But Dan Hurley had a rant in the tunnel. By now, you've probably already seen it. He's walking down the tunnel, and he's talking to the Baylor players, saying, "I hope they don't fuck you like they fucked us."
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
I sent you this tweet over the weekend. I won't say what I said behind it, but I sent you this tweet this weekend when the video of him first doing it. And to follow that up, UConn's men's director of communications, so basically the basketball SID, Bobby Mullins, allegedly threatens Charlotte Sports Live reporter Joey Ellis.
There's no allegedly. There were witnesses.
Okay, so it happened, I guess.
Yeah.
He says, "I will ruin your life if you don't delete that video." And
Yes.
now there's other stuff going into it now too. I don't know. I guess there's other people getting involved. But look, and I'll say this. I think Dan Hurley is one of the best coaches in college basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
He's won back-to-back national titles.
Very good
Obviously
coach.
won't win this year. He's elite in what he does. But dude, come on, man. If I was a Baylor coach, I don't want you fucking talking to my kids walking down. They're getting ready to go out and perform. I don't need you putting that shit in their fucking head when you're walking by. I'd be pissed if I was a Baylor coach. But come on, dude. Here's where I get frustrated. Is he saying things that all coaches don't think? Sure. But dude, you got to know your role. I mean, you're the fucking head coach at Connecticut. Okay? There's going to be times where I go, man, these refs fucked us today. But I can't go to my players or share in public and go, man, they fucked us today. Because now all my players are going to use that as an excuse. Okay? Excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Okay? You don't need players, young people, players, they don't need any more excuses to fail. Okay? I don't know if anybody else watching this show understands this, but the younger generation is really good at doing this right here. They'll go, phoom. They're going to point at this guy. It's his fault. It's his fault. It's his fault. It's his fault. It's his fault that I'm not performing good because he's yelling at me. Everybody wants to do this shit instead of take self-accountability. You don't want to give anybody a reason to have an excuse that they're not successful. Okay? Young people have to take accountability from their own actions. Well, this guy's over here, and then there's video from Saturday. I saw this live, and I thought I saw it, but I saw the slow down version. His assistant's trying to talk to him, and right mid-sentence just tells him to shut up. I mean, just you got to know if you're Dan Hurley and you got that, you have to understand that the microscope that's on you. Is there a place to have those conversations? Yes, but it's not in public.
No, and I find it abhorrent that he had his media people go say that to a media member.
Hey, look, what are we doing?
Hey, look, you're in a public place, champ. And the whole, that reporter wasn't supposed to be there. Well, the reporter was there. And he got it on video. There's no disputing it. And then you're going to go threaten the reporter? Hey, listen,
It's like this. Do you know how many?
And by the way, kudos to Joey Ellis. I don't know him, but for standing your ground, my guy, good for you. I mean, absolutely. No, I mean, you have it on video. You put it out. That's what you said. The proper response from Hurley was, look, it was emotional. It was a lapse in judgment, and I apologize.
And that's it.
The end.
But won't do it.
No. Well, because but look, this is pretty common in college sports. Not all, but it's pretty common. These guys have had their asses kissed a lot, to the point where I think they think that they can just go control everything. And sometimes this is my I have a lot of respect for the coaches that I cover who understand.
I don't know what that is.
I don't think it's a big deal. Who understand that we're human. Everybody's human. Just be human. That's all you have to do. All you have to do as a person is just be human. I mean, here's my thing, and I deal with coaches all the time who I don't really have any issues ever much anymore, but I've had some before where they didn't like something I wrote or said. Okay.
But nobody threatened you.
No, they talked to me about it.
Yeah, you
and I'd gotten upset. And I'm like, okay, we'll talk about it, and we'll either agree. And there have been times that I've said something or written something that bothered somebody, and I've said, you know what, I didn't think about it like that, but you're right, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And okay. And there have been times when a coach was upset about something I wrote or said, and he's like, why'd you write that? And I explained it to him, and he goes, oh, I guess I didn't think about it like that. Cool. All good. We had a conversation. We're human. This was wrong. I mean, this Danny Hurley sent his media guy out to threaten this reporter. And so this poor media guy had two choices.
Joey Ellis.
Well, Joey Ellis is the media guy. I'm talking about the media relations guy that
his
he
name,
sent.
Bobby Mullins.
So Bobby Mullins had two choices. Either incur the wrath of Hurley for saying, no, man, I can't do that. Or, gosh, you make $9 million, $10 million. I make $55,000. If I stand up to you, there's a decent chance I'm getting fired. So I'm going to go threaten. This is, at the end of the day, this is all on Hurley. It is completely on Hurley, and he's wrong.
Well, I'm going to give on both of them because I've been in a position too. I've been in Bobby Mullins' position.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been told, I have been directed by my superiors,
the head coach,
to
go say something to a reporter.
Say something, not to a reporter, but on the particular situation I'm thinking of, it could be somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've been told the exact message to say, but when you get there, I may handle it in a different way. Let's say somebody said, you go tell Neal McCready to take that shit down or we're going to ruin his life. Gotcha, coach. I'm going to go out there. Hey, Neal, brother, is there any way, and if you tell me to kick rocks, tell me to kick rocks. Is there any way we can take that video down? Can you help me? Help me, please, because I'm going to get my ass.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be going out there going, and you may tell me to kick rocks. And in case, I would tell the coach, he told me to kick rocks. But there's a different, so yes, Hurley, yes, but also on this guy, and he's a that's what he does for a living.
Oh, yeah.
He deals with reporters.
I'm not absolving him of blame.
You know what I'm saying? There's different ways.
It shows you the.
But it goes back to how you treat people, right? This, I guarantee
there's mutual respect. Well,
guarantee you this is not the first time.
There's been a line of delineation that has happened in college athletics as it pertains to media relations over the past several years, and there's still people that do it great. There's still people who do it great. I had a really positive experience today. I did. With Ole Miss's media relations and Lane Kiffin. It was very positive. I asked, and I haven't written the story yet, so I'm not going to give it away, but hey, could I ask Lane about something after practice? Just real quick. And they went and asked Lane, and then he was like, yeah, it's cool. It's 3 minutes. Done. It was great.
Did you tell him I said hi?
I did not. I did not. But it was great. I really appreciated the Ole Miss people for the way they handled it. I appreciated Lane for his time. It was great. It was a fun little thing. It had no football at all. And I told him, hey, I'm not asking any football. It's a quick little fun little. I told him, here's kind of what I'm going to be asking. It's what I want to see if he. And if he had said, I don't want to do that, I'd have been like, oh, that's cool. No big deal. It wouldn't hurt my feelings.
You didn't want to tell him you wanted to ruin him if he didn't?
Of course not. Of course not. And then I also didn't do that deal where I got you while I've got you here. I didn't do that.
You didn't get a depth chart before you left?
I asked for one, but no, I didn't. I didn't. I stuck to my word. And so, this way now there's, just trust. They understood, hey, this is what I want to ask. I didn't want to do it in some big group setting in a world where he wasn't going to be comfortable with it.
Right.
And so this way, he knew, okay, this is what he wants to ask me about. He had some time to decide whether he wanted to do that or not. He did, or he was willing to. He accommodated me. I stuck to that question, and it was a pleasant experience for all, right? It's all good. This was Danny Hurley. You lose in the postseason. It's emotional. You just hug some seniors for the last time in uniform. It's emotional. I get it. And it's okay to think the refs screwed you. A lot of people think that, right? College refereeing is bad. But instead of just, and then if you had the explosion, he didn't know anybody was going to be there. But once that video comes out, the only thing you can do right there is to go, I let my emotions get the best of me. I'm a human being. It happens. Who out there has never said something in the heat of the moment that they wish they had back? I'll give everybody in the stream a chance to raise their hand. The answer is we've all done it. Just because he makes a ton of money and he's the two-time defending national champion coach doesn't mean that he doesn't occasionally lose his cool.
Yeah, every coach loses their cool. My point.
But everyone, it doesn't have to be a coach. That's my point.
Anybody.
You've said something to your kids before,
Daily.
to your wife before, that you wish
Weekly.
you had back. And so when you do, you just say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
The moment was, I lost my cool.
There just has to be better awareness, dude. There's got to be better awareness.
It's bad.
He knew when he came off that court, like as a coach, dude, do you know how many times I want to choke slam people coming off going through a tunnel?
Sure.
Even at home sometimes. You just got to get your ass to the locker room, and then you can deal with it.
Yeah.
But you got to know better than that. All right, Sean Miller, hired at Texas. I thought this was interesting from Xavier. Xavier fans are having a tough time with this.
Yeah, he's a really good coach.
After Xavier beats Texas, Texas said, I'm going to take your coach. You're going to take my tournament. I'm going to take your coach. I don't know has that happened before?
I'm sure it has.
I'm sure it has. I'll be interested to know when that's happened before. So Xavier puts Texas out of the tournament, and then they in turn take their coach. So Sean Miller's a hell of a coach. I'll be excited to see. I think he's been a great coach. I'll be excited to see what he looks like in the SEC and amongst and has some money to play with.
Just another good coach in the league, man.
Another one. It's crazy, isn't it?
It's a phenomenally good league.
It's crazy. It really is. All right. I gotta say this I was actually unaware of this. I don't know why, because obviously I do football for a living, and I deal with roster management for football for a living. And I was really unaware of this until John Calipari's press conference the other day when they asked him about the portal.
Yeah,
I was unaware that the basketball portal opened on Monday. In my brain, I thought it opened the 16th. I thought that was the spring window. I thought they kind of matched it up. So my message, my hand raised guy moment is to the person who made the basketball calendar may be dumber than the person that made the football calendar. Like, I don't even understand. Like, there's no point of having a portal window right now this early in the process. I don't know how coaches do it. I feel for coaches trying to prep for a Sweet 16 run. Even anybody in the tournament, it's not going to be easy for anybody in the tournament because those decisions, those conversations have to already be happening while you're prepping for the tournament. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, that you have free agency opening in the middle of a damn play in the middle of the playoffs. It's the stupidest shit. I don't care. There's no excuse. You can't tell me anything. But it matches up with the academic. I understand it a little bit. I still think it's stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
But at least they have the excuse that January semester starting.
Yeah.
Brother, nobody's enrolling in school until June. You got months. There's no reason. The football window opens the 16th of April. If they open basketball the same day, guess what? You still got time. But
you could do it the day after the national final.
Yeah, I think that it's the 16th. I think a Wednesday after the national final.
It's a week and a half after. You could do the basketball on the Tuesday morning after the national final.
Yeah, just whenever. But just it's dumb. So
yeah, it's crazy.
It's completely stupid. All right, now takes me into a whole nother conversation. Okay, I told Scoops a little bit about this before we started with what I do with my day job, and we're going to be the only show talking about it. So pay attention because you're not going to hear about this anywhere else. I don't think people that have sports podcasts understand, is probably the best word, how all this works. And it's very confusing, and I understand it. But nobody's going to tell you this. April 7th is a key day.
Okay.
April 7th is fast approaching. Okay. This is a key day.
Okay.
We're going into a rev share model. Okay. We all understand that. That's coming. Okay.
Yep.
April 7th is a key day because that is how all of these programs, there's rumors out there, of course, On3 reports. They don't really double check their sources. They run reports and things. The reports about Louisville and teams spending $10 million in basketball and things like that, they're not wrong. They just don't explain it to the fans. And I want everybody to understand how this is going to work. And that's why coaches probably won't bitch as much about the portal being open early, but the NCAA didn't know that all this shit was going on when they made the rules. Collectives are going away to what we know them as. Okay? Rev share is coming in. But if you go and sign a player to a NIL collective deal before April 7th, okay, you can kind of add to your rev share number. So here's what teams are doing, okay? You're seeing it in football, you're seeing this. They're going above their rev share number by front loading, which is scaring the shit out of some teams now. They're front loading these deals, okay? So in the past, hey, we're going to pay you by month. We're going to give you this and that to keep them going to portal. Well, the rev share number is what it is, okay?
Uh-huh.
So the average, the median rev share number for football per team, some will be a little bit more, is going to be about $13.5 million. When you look at teams like Ohio State that's spending $20 million on football, hell, that's a big discount. So what they're doing is they're front-loading NIL collective deals. And long as they have them paid out by July 1st, they're good. So example, let's give me a great basketball player. Like Clayton that went from Iona to Florida. Let's say he was coming back out. We're going to give you $5 million to play here at Florida. They don't. I'm just making up a number.
Okay.
They can't do that. But you know what they can do? They can give him $5 million and pay it to him as long as he has it in his pocket by July 1st, because any payment coming after July 1st is going to go into this Deloitte thing. Okay? And then it could come out of rev share. And so everybody's front-loading these NIL deals, and the contracts have to be signed by April 7th.
Yeah, this is where I promised you I won't like the match. This is where I just disagree with everybody in athletics. And maybe they're all right and I'm wrong.
Well, no, I mean, there's some disagreements.
I don't know how Deloitte – let's put a more realistic number on Clayton for a second.
Okay.
Let's say Walter Clayton Jr. wants $2 million.
Okay.
It's a realistic number.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's say that somehow Florida finds a business, corporation, whatever, to essentially – strike an NIL deal with Walter Clayton to give him $3 million.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know how Deloitte is going to look at that number and go, nope, unfair.
Okay. So
says because here's the thing, man. I mean, here's the thing. This really bothers me.
Yeah.
This really bothers me fundamentally at my core as a capitalist.
Okay.
Okay. I'm being serious.
I'm with you. I'm listening.
If The Athletic calls me today and they offer me 6 times my collective salary, that's what I'm worth. An independent company doesn't hold on.
They're not stopping that, though.
But I know. But so if
all right, let me give you an example. If Realtree, with Tyler Jordan's connections, he is a booster.
Okay.
If Realtree offered, where Jackson Dart's gone.
Austin Simmons.
If Realtree offered Austin Simmons, okay, $1 million and to do whatever, his work would have to match it. If The Athletic called Austin Simmons and offered him $1 million. None of that's going. It's just
Okay,
booster
that's a good point.
affiliated.
Okay, but let's say the athlete. Let's say that I hate doing real ones. Let's say let's use your friends at the They Won't Mind.
We're talking about Gridiron Spice Company.
Gridiron Spice Company wants who's the
Promo code Scoops.
Who's the quarterback at LSU? What's his name?
Nussmeier.
They want Garrett Nussmeier to advertise to endorse their product.
Yep.
They want him to make some YouTube videos where he smokes some chickens and he grills some pork chops and whatnot, and he uses the hot route on it. Okay?
Yep.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, we'll pay you $2 million to do it, Garrett.
It wouldn't go through Deloitte.
Why?
Because they're not affiliated. They're not a booster of LSU. If the Children's Hospital that funneled all that money, if they offered Garrett Nussmeier $2 million to do that, that would go through Deloitte because they're.
But what if? Okay, but again, I go right back to what I'm saying. You're still missing my point. I'm not mad at you. You're missing my point. Like, okay, we'll go back to Tyler. They're Ole Miss boosters.
Okay,
they say, hey, it's worth it to us, to our company, to have the starting quarterback at Ole Miss as one of the big faces of our brand. They're going to put Austin Simmons in camo, and they're going to put him out in some photo things, shooting ducks. Maybe they'll take Juice Kiffin with him, and Juice will go chase down the duck and bring the duck back, and he'll say, without, Realtree, I wouldn't have caught this duck. It's real. I'm being really stupid right now, but I'm being. I don't hunt, so I'm completely lost. But
sounds good.
But you understand my point.
I do.
If Realtree says it's worth $2 million to us, I don't see how Deloitte can stop it. Now, if Realtree ends up going out of business because they're just throwing money away, well, that's on them.
No, I understand.
I mean, if Realtree's, I don't know if they're publicly traded or not.
Right.
But if Realtree's stockholders, and Tyler, forgive me, man, I'm sorry.
Not but Tyler Jordan, right?
Tyler Jordan. But if let's just hypothetically say that Realtree is publicly traded.
Okay.
And they have stockholders. And their stockholders go, this is insanity.
Mm-hmm.
This is insanity. Well, they have a right to go, you people have lost your minds. Give me my money back. I'm out. But I don't know how a third party goes, no, he's not worth that. If a company's willing to give him that, I think he's worth it.
Okay, so if I'm with you, but we're making
really bugs me.
I know, but we're making a mountain out of a molehill here. Okay, there's not as many
third party. The molehill's going to try to become a mountain soon. I'm just telling you, that's going to happen.
The ones that, yeah, I agree with. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just telling you what the rules, what they're saying, right? And so, at the end of the day, we're talking about very few companies that are going to be willing to pay that much money,
right?
For that they are affiliated with that university boosters. So like if Austin Simmons goes and gets a Canes deal, whatever.
Yeah.
Go knock it out, whatever. All right. If you go and do that third party booster work, so like if it's just to keep third party boosters, it's going to try to keep the third party boosters out of pay for play, not true NIL. I don't think it's going to be as big of a deal. Now, here's where it comes into effect, okay? Because of this April 7th, and this was the point I'm trying to make, but before this April 7th deal, right, everybody's front-loaded because I know people are doing it. I know of schools that aren't even touching their rev share at all until they're front-loading everything. I'm talking about football teams here.
Right.
Front-loading everything
until
through
July
the
1 because they want to make sure the money's actually going to be
until
there.
December.
Oh.
And then they're going to try to go 13 million from in the portal in December and then add to it again and get another 13 million or whatever the next in July.
Right.
Okay. So from a football standpoint, okay, now just hear me out. From a football standpoint, you may not see the effects of rev share for 2 more football seasons.
Yeah.
Because of people doing it that way. They're trying to kick the can down the road as long as they can. You will not, in any sport, including basketball, you're not going to really see the effects of rev share until next basketball season.
But I'm telling you, these basketball programs that are coming up with more money, it's not rev share. It's corporate donations.
Right now until April the 7th.
I'm just telling you, moving forward, this. You and I differ on this. We'll see who's right.
Well, I'm not
Yeah.
First of all, I'm not standing and arguing with you that it's not going to happen. I'm just telling you, as the rules are written.
I don't think the rev share thing's going to hold. I don't think the limits on rev share are going to hold. I don't think the limits on NIL are going to hold. I don't think any of this is going to hold. There's no sign at all that any of this is going to hold. The only thing that is going to prevent this from completely going off the rails is hyper competitive people deciding to have self-discipline. And if you believe in that, then I'd like to talk to you about the Easter Bunny. I'd like to talk to you about Santa Claus, and I'd like to talk to you about Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah, there's going to be, and here's the problem, right? Is when the actual rev share goes into effect and you're actually feeling it, which again for football may be 2 years. You may get 2 more years out of this before you feel it, because they're front loading, and then next year a $13.5 million war chest is going to turn into 27 minimum. And so
Brent asked what keeps the players from jumping after they get paid. Absolutely nothing.
And in my conversations with what I do for a day job, that is a major fear.
Of course, it should be.
Major fear is that they're front loading these guys, and then because you got to be done by when? April 7th. When does the spring portal open for football? The 16th. There's absolutely nothing holding these players from taking their bag and then going and getting a rev share bag after April, in the April window. There's absolutely nothing. So that answers that question. But that's what everybody's scared of. The people who are punting it.
Well, that's a train wreck. Hey.
Well, yeah,
Brent.
welcome.
Well, welcome home, Brent.
Yeah. Last 260 episodes of the 269.
But no, Brent's right. It's a train wreck.
It's a complete train wreck.
Of course. But look, if you give a kid a whole bunch of money,
you deserve it.
And he leaves you a week later,
you deserve it.
It's on you.
It's on you.
I mean, that's you going, hey, I think this kid will be cool. And then the kid's not cool. Maybe you should get better at evaluating character.
All right. And then so people know there are states, Tennessee was being the last one, I think. There are, like, here's the other interesting thing. This may make you light a match. All right. This is something to keep an eye on. Okay. Actually, don't light the match just yet.
I'm just getting ready.
After I say this, you can
just
light
getting
it.
ready.
So Tennessee, the state of Tennessee joined. There's like 8 states. I think it's 8. Forgive me on the number. There are states that are rushing to get in to file lawsuits before April 7th. Hear me out. To the NCAA about there are states suing the NCAA saying, hey, you can't enforce the collective thing, what you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people are doing that. Interesting is the people who are doing it, the states that are doing it, down south, imagine, but the teams like Tennessee, who's paying 3 sports, okay? Because when actual rev share, if it does go through, you're not going to be able to be competitive in 3 sports. It's just not possible. You don't have enough money. All right, you got to pick your poison. All right, but the interesting thing is they're going to be rushing. They have to get their lawsuits in before April 7th, because when the House settlement goes through, you can't sue the NCAA for 10 years. You can sue the court system, but you can't sue the NCAA. That's in the fine print nobody's talking about. This is going to get passed. It's in the fine print. And I'm on Team Scoops here, so don't yell at me. I'm on your team. How are you going to tell somebody they can't sue the NCAA? I bet you won't let that go to your fingers. How long you can keep that thing going? Did you ever play that game as a kid?
Of course.
I always won that game.
Why? Because it burned your finger?
I'd just be fucking stubborn.
Well, I'm not going to do that. I've got to type.
I'd burn a damn blister on my hand just to make a point. I'm messed up like that, though.
Now, constitutionally, how does one agree not to sue an entity that one didn't know he or she was going to sue?
Say that one more time.
How constitutionally can you forbid someone from suing an entity that at the time that he or she didn't know
that they had a lawsuit,
they were going to sue?
I agree. That's why I think but it's in the fine print for 10 years. So
yeah, good luck.
Good luck with that. But just to give everybody kind of an idea of where the numbers are going to be, this is the median numbers, okay? Median. That means average, some will be more, some will be less.
Mm-hmm.
With the rev share model, once rev share goes through, $13.5 million for football, $2.7 million for men's basketball, $900,000 for women's basketball, and $900,000 for every other sport that you have. Not enough money.
I mean,
not enough money. So the teams that are spending, like Ohio State publicly said they had a $20 million roster. in football.
Yeah.
The teams that are spending, Tennessee's football, baseball, basketball, teams that are spending, that's a difficult number. All right. Did you have fun with that? Was that favorite as much as excitement as you wanted out of it?
I mean, I saw today where the NCAA tournament ratings are record highs.
There was some asshole. By the way, we're going to Sweet 16 now anyway. Great transition, Scoops. Where are you? I'm looking for you in my comments. I'm looking for you in the chat. Don't see you here. I look for you on TikTok. Where are you, SEC biased people? Where are you? I can't see you. You're drowned in your tears. I can't see BS. Where are you? Where did y'all go? All y'all want to talk shit last week when we released the brackets. It's too chalky. Why you got so many SEC teams in the Sweet 16? Because they spend fucking money. Because they spend money. Where are you this week? I'm looking for you. I don't see you. 7 of the 16 teams from the SEC, Scoops. In the history of college basketball, the most ever by a conference.
I asked Lane Kiffin today. I'm going to give him credit. I am. I am. One of my new things is when coaches just speak truth, damn it, I'm going to give credit. No matter who the coach is. And I like Lane. And I said.
Did Lane speak truth today?
He did.
Lane, that way speak truth.
I said, hey, you're about to have what appears to be a pretty successful draft, right? It's the one. Lane's been at Ole Miss for a minute. He got there, COVID hit. And so you had the weirdness and all that stuff. And then they did the portal stuff and you had all that. And he's done everything except 2 things so far. He hadn't made the playoff yet. And he hasn't really had the big NFL class yet.
Well, we got one of them knocked out now.
You can check this one off the list. They're going to have a big NFL class.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, this is helping you in the portal and stuff? And his answer, very paraphrased.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember exactly what he said. Was, yes, it helps. It's proof of concept. You can recruit guys out of the portal and say, hey, this guy came in the portal for a year and look where he went. But then he spoke the truth. And that was true. It's true. You'd rather
it be that way than the other way.
You'd rather have success than not have success.
Right.
Sure.
What fans don't realize before you on that topic, what people don't realize is if you're in the SEC and you're recruiting kids, newsflash, they all think they're going to the NFL, whether your players are going or not. They're like, oh, he hadn't go, but I am. They're very confident.
But he was like, you'd rather win than lose.
Yes.
But because I don't know that it means, and again, I'm very loosely paraphrasing. He says, I don't know that it means what it may have meant before.
That is
because now it's really all about money.
It's about the great.
And I was like,
the money.
I was like, man, kudos to you for saying that, because a lot of people, and hey, that's not what fans like hearing.
No,
and I get it. It's not really what a lot of the players don't want you to talk about money. That's the other thing. The players want to make the money, but they don't want anybody to talk about the money because it's kind of weird. No, I mean,
it's weird.
It's where we are, right?
They don't want the real price out there because they want their agent to take whatever you're offering me. I'm going to add 20% to it to the other school and see if they'll match it, and then we're going to play a game.
But if you sign a professional contract, Jamar Chase,
it's out there,
right? Everybody knows what Jamar Chase is making now. You'll either earn it or you won't. And if you don't, you'll still get it. But, boy, you're going to catch heat. If Jamar Chase next season catches 7 balls for 14 yards and 1 score, people are going to be going, can you believe they paid, right? That's just the way it is. So you got if you're going to be professional sports, we need more transparency.
Yeah, I think it's coming, actually.
Well, I kind of do too. But anyway, credit to...
That's a whole different
But again,
podcast.
Credit to Lane Kiffin for saying that today, because it's not a popular thing to say, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And so when...
Transparency is coming, I feel.
And so it's why what's interesting to me about what's getting ready to happen in sports, like I think it's becoming a fair question. I keep asking myself, when is it a fair question to ask a coach the following? Okay? In your sport, to be nationally competitive, what is a realistic salary number that you need? What is it that you need to go, okay, here's the number I need to truly compete nationally. And if I get that number and I don't compete nationally, I failed.
You know why I think they don't do it though? It's because, and you're going to probably agree
Well,
with
I haven't
this.
asked.
Well,
I'm starting
reason,
to think if I ask some coaches, they might tell me in basketball, because I think the answer in basketball starting next season is $8 million. I think the number in football is
right.
$20 million.
I think the reason that a lot of coaches, if they ask, if they're not talking about it, the number, I guess my point is the number changes every year. I mean,
yeah. But if I said, what is the
first
number?
Year, the very first year, $8.5 million in football to won you the damn thing.
But if I said to a coach today, what is the number you need for next season to field a nationally competitive roster? I think 2 years ago, a coach would have looked at me and been like, hey, will you meet me afterwards so I can scream at you? And I think now a coach would go, and in his internal monologue go, I don't know whether I should answer that or not, but you know what? I think that's a fair question. And so I've got to figure out.
I think it's getting looser.
I think a coach would go, I got to figure out, do I want to answer this? Because that's fair. And it took balls for this guy to stare me in the face, look me in the eye, and say, what's the number? Because
$20 million this past year would have, you'd been, yeah, you're really good. I don't know if that, but
that's my point.
I think, my opinion, which will buy you a cup of coffee, okay?
But like we're talking about Lane Kiffin for a minute. Lane Kiffin didn't have $20 million.
No.
And so if Lane were to, this is my point. If Lane, to his credit, didn't do it. If Lane said, hey, the reason we didn't go 10-2 instead of 9-3, and again, I'm not saying this, don't everybody argue with me, but if he had said that, or if Brian Kelly, if Brian Kelly had said, hey, the reason we went 8-4 instead of 10-2 was because the programs from our league that made the tournament had $18, $19, $20 million, and we had 10. Had I had that money, we would have done that. Can you imagine? Guess what, Tyler? There's probably some truth in that comment.
There's a lot of truth to it.
But, but nobody says it, right?
Yeah, we do. But
we do it in professional baseball. Nobody ever goes to no one ever goes up to Brian Shelton, the manager of the Pirates, and says, you underachieved. They have a built-in deal where everybody goes, well, they don't have the same amount of money as the Cubs and the Brewers and the Cardinals and the Reds. How are they going to win how are they supposed to win the Central? Of course they don't beat the Dodgers. The Pirates, Shohei makes more than the whole damn Pirate team. Of course they don't beat the Dodgers. You did a good job. Way to try.
Contracts and development.
And so it's just a different world. I keep waiting for some of this to happen, and I think it's going to happen, but
It's actually
maybe I'm really wrong.
It's actually, if you think about it from a college athletic standpoint, it's all about money. In baseball, for example, or in the NFL or anything else, you have contracts and you have a draft.
Yeah, collective bargaining and a draft and a whole deal.
You can go and basically moneyball it and out-evaluate people and out-develop people and develop a competitive roster.
Yeah.
College athletics, you can't do that because you don't. If I develop a guy, I recruit a guy. All right, let me give you a great example. Let me give you a few. Let's say when I was at Ole Miss is today, okay? Cedric Johnson ended up being a really good player here.
Mm-hmm.
Really good player.
Yeah, played for the Bengals
last season. Yep. You can't go like you could have got in the NFL, or if you were under a contract, out of recruiting wise, you could have got him out of high school pretty cheap. And if you had a 4 or 5 year contract with a guy, 3-year contract, you could have got really good years out of him for cheap without having to renegotiate. It's year to year. Once he starts playing well, it's free agency every single year.
Yeah.
And so if you
twice a year.
If you do out evaluate somebody and you do out recruit them, you actually hurt yourself because you can't hold on to them. Everybody.
We're seeing this in the tournament,
right?
I mean, look who's in the tournament. Look who's left. As we get to Sweet 16, look who's left. You've got BYU, which is borderline Power 4. Power 4.
They are Big 12.
Yeah. So BYU is Power 4, 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 Power.
There's no mid majors.
Everything. I mean, the closest thing to a mid major is
BYU. Because they were independent a few years ago.
Houston.
Yeah.
That's it.
And Houston's in the Big 12 now.
I mean, everything is Big 12, ACC, SEC, or Big 10. Everything.
Yeah.
There's no outlier.
None.
It's not a coincidence.
Yeah. And the people who, and I'll say this, the people who, and I saw a bunch of this on Twitter. Oh, it's not the NIL's not the reason that there's no, no.
Of course it is.
It is. It's because of the Claytons of the world that used to be playing guard at Iona.
Sure. Well, look at Ole Miss.
I know. I mean, we can go around. It's everybody. It's Michigan Center.
Yeah.
It's everybody. And you sit there and you go through. And if Clayton was at Iona and they got in a tournament and they played Clemson on a day, if Clayton gets hot, brother, it don't matter what uniform he's wearing.
Yeah, he can get you to a win.
He can get you to a win.
Sure.
The Steph Currys back in the day.
Well, Janai Broome started his career at Morehead State.
Like,
you don't think Janai Broome still at Morehead State?
The guy at Michigan was at Yale.
You don't think he could carry Morehead State to a first round upset of somebody?
You're one of five. You're one of five players.
Yeah.
You're one of five players. You can make a difference.
Of course, it's completely different now.
And so it's the people who are spending money, and then there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that's the reason why. And somebody's like, oh, well, let me explain something to you with the SEC. And I told somebody this. Everybody knows I love the SEC. It's where I'm from, all that stuff, right? The SEC sucked in basketball for decades.
Yeah.
Okay. Kentucky and Florida carried the freaking SEC banner, and Arkansas had a year or two there in the 90s. But there's been like 3 schools to carry the SEC banner. Like we're still competitive in basketball, but it's really only us 3. All right, for decades, Scoops. The SEC just all of a sudden becomes the best conference in the history of basketball in 1 year.
Well, it was built in more than 1 year, but yes, to your point, yes.
Overnight, 2 years.
Yeah.
Overnight.
Yeah.
And my homie at Alabama, Grant Nelson, North Dakota State. I mean, like, we can go on and on and on. Mark Sears, where did he start at? He's another one.
I can't remember.
He started one. Like, over and over and over and over and over again, these dudes started somewhere else. That didn't happen 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now it does. And so you start paying dudes. That's the results that you get. That's why everybody's going, the teams that have been spending money, teams that are spending money, those are the ones that don't want the collective to go away.
In fairness, it's a combination of two things. It's one, back in about 2015, 2016, the league emphasized basketball. 2, they hired coaches. The league went
for Sears.
The league went from hiring kind of regional coaches to people hiring. I mean, you look around. I mean, Bruce Pearl and Rick Barnes.
There was a commitment to it.
But
it was a financial commitment.
Yes, but at first it was a financial commitment to coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this era, it's become a financial commitment, period. And there are people in the league who think that this new system is going to control it. I respectfully disagree.
Well, I don't think it's going. I think basketball has
I think this year's the beginning of a long trend.
I think basketball has a better chance of not changing than football.
Not changing from where we are today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your kids are going to get paid.
You just got less players to pay.
Yeah, kids are going to get paid.
I mean, I think you can still pay.
And the public doesn't care. The ratings are higher than they normally are.
Yeah.
The public doesn't care. I mean, I was in Milwaukee.
Paying 13 to paying 85 is a little different.
I was in Milwaukee, and massive, massive fan bases from Iowa State, from Illinois, North Carolina, Kentucky. They were all there. Milwaukee was, I mean, man, it
didn't sound like Big Blue Nation was as popular.
No, but there was still a lot of people there. And they will flood Indianapolis this weekend. So,
Atlanta, right?
No, Kentucky's
where are they at?
Indianapolis.
Where's the Final Four?
San Antonio.
Okay. Atlanta, dude, you're going to a shit show. You got Auburn, Ole Miss, Michigan State.
There will be so many people from those 4 schools. So
it's an easy flight from Michigan to Atlanta, boys.
So I just think that the people like me who are like, I don't know, man. I don't know that people are going to go. People don't care. People just continue.
Yeah, I don't think from a fan interest standpoint, I don't think any of the stuff that we're talking about today is really going, because hear me out. The actual fan price, or not price, you're going to be depending on the fans to fund these, I think that will be less.
Yeah, maybe so.
I think the interest, now you're still going to need the individuals, the big ones. I think the rev share is going to take some of the stress off the fan. I think the fans are in business. Now, I still think with rev share, you're going to raise prices and shit on tickets and things like that. But for the most part, from a collective deal, that's there.
All right, we're going to get some games in a minute. First, let me tell you we're brought to you by Parrish Brewing Company, located in the heart of Cajun country in Broussard, Louisiana. Their simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer, and they do it. Man, I had a lot of beer over the last few days. I mean,
every time I talked to you, was in a bar.
I mean, I'm so fat right now. It's awful. I can't wait to go run in a minute. I just want to sweat.
Brother, I did bad things to my body this weekend too, but it was self-inflicted with Mexican.
Well, mine was self-inflicted too. It just was.
I ate 7 bags of chips and about 5 cases of guacamole and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
I love Mexican food, man.
Yeah. Beer is good. It is Parrish Brewing Company. Wherever you look for a beer, look for theirs. They got Dr. Juice. They got Ghost in the Machine. They got Envy.
Maybe that was what was running next to me, the Ghost in the Machine.
Could be Ghost in the Machine running off some of the hops there on the trail. Anyway, wherever you look for beer, look for our friends at Parrish Brewing Company. We're also brought to you by Easy. Easy is a vitamin-infused sparkling water. Hey, TikTok, I'm so sick of you. Vitamin-infused sparkling water. It's guilt-free alcohol alternative, a natural way to relax and unwind. It's all natural. It's made with real fruit, no added sugar, low-calorie, gluten-free, 1 12-ounce can of Easy has 3 milligrams of vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
With Easy, it's easy to avoid the gummy scare and control your experience.
Just one.
What?
Just try one.
Oh, just one. Yes,
just
I
one.
thought you said one strike. So change the can, not the ritual. It's easy. Visit Easy. There's another word, 4 letters. It starts with an H, ends with a P, and includes an
in the middle.
Co.com to view the Easy Finder to find Easy near you. Easy is Farm Bill compliant.
Sure is.
Vitamins derived from herbs and stuff.
Herbs.
3 letters, / 3 letters, extracts from those things. It's for people 21 and older. Enjoy responsibly.
Grind likes it. Grind tried it for me. He likes it.
Okay, good.
All right, we got BYU, Sweet 16 set, BYU versus the Alabama Crimson Tide. Scary game for the Crimson Tide here. This over-under is like at 170.5, I think, or something like that. I think that this is a fast-paced game. Both teams turn the ball over. Look, I said this on live today. I don't think Alabama's playing great right now. I think they are not playing at their peak. Alabama just can't be Alabama and win this game. BYU struggles with length and athleticism on defense. That's kind of their deal. Ole Miss beat them early in the year. They really got smoked by Houston a few weeks ago in the tournament. So Alabama, to me, they either have to – the two things that you're worried about with Alabama is they turn the ball over too much on offense. A lot of that's dictated by the pace that they play, though, now. So make sure you understand. Like, when you look at stats, if you're an analytics guy, Alabama, with the pace they play, they do turn the ball over a lot, but they have to eliminate either A, they have to eliminate some turnovers, or B, they have to shoot better from the perimeter. They have not shot the ball well down the stretch. Okay, I don't give a shit what the analytics say. They have not shot the ball well down the stretch, and it's got them some. So they either have to, A, shoot the ball better, or B, not turn the ball over. One or the other. I think their length and athleticism will calm BYU down a little bit, but Alabama just can't go and do the same thing they've done to win the game. I do think Alabama wins. One of those things they fix. All right, my Maryland Terrapins, who I love so much, they're taking on the Florida Gators. Florida will be favoring this game. Look, Florida just has to be Florida. I think that's good enough. Maryland's good. They're competitive. Big win for Maryland. Did you think that was a travel, by the way? Queen traveled. Do you think he traveled the last shot?
Not really.
Boy, when I watched it back, I thought he did.
He gathered.
Okay.
They don't really call the gather anymore.
Yeah.
At any level.
By the letter of the law, was it a travel?
No, I don't think. It depends. It depends on whether they determined him to gather.
Gotcha. I thought it was, but I don't.
Never going to call that in the
situation.
final seconds. No.
Hell of a shot. I liked how.
He's a great player.
I liked how, as a freshman, he said, "Give me the motherfucking ball." Hey, all right, guys. Here's our play. Give me the motherfucking ball. All right, everybody. It felt like Hoosiers with with Gene Hackman and Hoosiers. Just give the ball to Jimmy. Get out of the way. Jimmy Chitwood. I'll make it. Give it to him. Sounds like a good play.
Yep.
Clear it out. Let him go. Florida's good. I got them winning it. I think Florida's too much there. All right, Arizona at Duke, or versus Duke, excuse me. I think Duke's the second best team in the country. I think they're going to win coming out of this region. Arizona's playing well, but I just like Duke, man. I just like them. I think they're the second best team, and you can argue with me that they're the best team, and I probably wouldn't argue back with you a whole lot. I like Florida better, but Duke is right there 1B. I really like Duke. All right, the interesting game I'm locked into here, okay? I am super locked into the Arkansas Razorbacks taking on Texas Tech. I think it's going to be sneakily one of the best games of the weekend. Texas Tech is really good. When they shoot the ball from the perimeter, they're really, really damn good. And Arkansas is just finding their stride, man. It seems like they find a way. They're getting better. They're getting some guys back, and they're playing better.
They're really long, and they close out well. It's going to be the interesting part about their game against Texas Tech. Can they do what they did to St. John's, where I thought their closeouts really altered St. John's shooting? Yeah.
I think that's going to be a great game. I'm probably picking Texas Tech, but I'll probably be pulling for Arkansas. I think it's going to be a great game. I like Arkansas is fun to watch. Teams that are figured it out and they're playing with confidence. They're fun to watch.
Their young guards are really playing well.
Yeah,
and they might get.
They're getting him back.
Tiro back.
Is it Tiro?
Yeah, is he back for sure?
He's back from what I've heard. That's semi-sourced.
Let me run this by somebody.
All right, that's semi-sourced, by the way. While you're talking, the Ole Miss Rebels in the hot Atlanta first game on Friday night, taking on the Michigan State Spartans. Interesting game. I think something's got to give in this game. These are two very similar teams. In a lot of ways, particularly on defense. Ole Miss either kind of like Alabama. Ole Miss either has, in order to win, I think they have to shoot the ball like they have been shooting it from the perimeter. They really have shot the ball really well the first two games of the tournament. I think that would help. Or B, if they're normal at the perimeter, they gotta figure out something to send 6 dudes to the glass, send 7 dudes to the glass.
John Calipari, during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show Tuesday morning, said that Thero will be available and is expected to play against Texas Tech in San Francisco. They said the most he'll play 12 minutes, maybe 15, maybe. I doubt it, but you've got to prepare now.
Yeah, what's his name? The other kid was supposed to play 20 minutes. He ended up playing 36.
Yeah, Boogie Fland. It was so funny.
Hey, I got
They said Boogie Fland's only going to play limited minutes, and I was like, so which part of 36 minutes is the limited part? But look, give him credit. I'll give Fland credit. He comes back. He didn't have to. Dude's a first-round pick.
Yeah.
He comes back and goes, these are my guys, and I want to play with them. And good for him. I mean, that makes it fun. Hey, look, their deal was they were down to 7 guys. You add Fland, and if Thero can do anything, all of a sudden they're a little different.
All right, I just had flashbacks. I got to share this. I've shared some of this in the past. I worked it. I coached the place. I was coaching receivers. I'm not going to throw him on blast. We had a trainer that was fucking terrible. Okay, matter of fact, the only place I ever worked. Every other place I worked, our trainer was freaking elite. Okay, just great dude, great at their job. I will tell you this: it wasn't Alabama, Ole Miss, or Arkansas State. You can do the math. We had a trainer, and I coached receivers, and I'd have a guy that had a hamstring or something, right? And it was, and I'd be like, we'd go through our staff meeting before our last morning staff meeting of game day.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be going through the injury report, and he'd get to one of my players and be like, yeah, he can go for about 20 snaps. And I would wait a minute, I'd be like, time out. I was like, 20 snaps. I said, so if I throw him out there 23 snaps, are we getting sued? I mean, if the guy can run full speed, we'll play receiver. Okay. Yeah. The guy's got a hamstring or an ankle, because receivers can play as long as it's anything. A receiver can play with anything upper body, right? Shoulder dislocations, labrum tears. That's just a pain thing. But like a receiver, it's hamstring. It's always soft tissue or ankles, right?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah, he's good to go. I think you can get about 20 snaps. He can go for 20 snaps. I'm like, we run full speed, go routes.
He can either run or
post.
He can't.
I put him in the game, and then we get the play. I don't put him in there and go, oh, shit, He's got the clear out on a cover 2. He's the clear out route. We got to run a mandatory out route, outside release go. Oh shit. No. So if he can do that 20 times, you're telling me the 21st time that he's running a freaking slant, I can't put him in there? Like, can he go or can he not? Well, he can go about 20 snaps. No, if it's 20, like the guy was just, I'm still pissed off about it, and it's
because you're like, I get that
7 years, 8 years later.
I get he might not be in
it.
game shape, and after 20 snaps, he might need a
Yeah,
cardio.
I will judge that.
Right.
I will judge if he's in shape or not. Because, brother, if I put him out there and he fucks it up, I'm the one getting fired, not you.
Because if Adu Tiro is out there and he's lighting Texas Tech up,
guarantee you his ass is playing more than 15 minutes.
Well, they're not getting to the 12-minute mark and going, hey,
Coach, that's it. 15.
He's out.
He's out. He's got to come out.
He might go out there for 4 minutes and he's because he hadn't played in
maybe gassed
in a month, and he might be like bent over grabbing his shorts going, I need a moment. And then you're like, hey, come on. But I get that. But yeah, come on. The
same trainer. Same trainer. I told you this privately. I can't even remember if I've told this on here or not. No, I've told it to you privately. Same trainer. We've been on same trainer.
You told me this one.
Yeah, I've told you this one privately. Same trainer. Saturday staff meeting before a game. No, he's out. He can't go. He can't play today. We practiced on Sunday. We were a Sunday practice team. Okay. The next day, we'd be in a noon. We always had our staff meetings at noon on Sunday. Now, we played at 6 p.m. the night before. Okay, 6 p.m. the night before, the kid could not play. He physically was not allowed to play by the trainer. It was a medical decision by our trainer that he could not play. Sunday at noon, you get there, and he'd be like, we go to the injury report, and we get down to the person who could not play 18 hours before. Yeah, he's full go.
He's full go.
Full go, no restrictions. And I'm like, wait a minute.
What happened?
You're telling me he's full go, no restrictions. Like I can go practice him 210 reps today at practice.
Full go.
He couldn't give me 20 yesterday.
No.
Drove me fucking nuts. Guy would look at me dead in the eyes and do that shit. Piss me off. All right. I'm hot today. All right. Ole Miss, Michigan State. I think Ole Miss is playing well. Michigan State, same thing with them. I think they have to continue to rebound if they want to win. They have to shoot the ball well from the perimeter. They've had when they've gotten beat, like by teams when they've had these moments. They had a moment against Indiana a few weeks ago, and they were in the Criteria Club. So I watched this game very closely. They couldn't throw it in the ocean from the beach. They had one of those Arkansas, South Carolina moments. I don't think that performance flies. They have to shoot the ball from the perimeter. I think Ole Miss continue to defend. It'll be a really good game.
Yeah, I anticipate a very close game.
Big Blue Nation taking on the Rocky Top in the Sweet 16 for the third time. Kentucky's won both matchups so far. I think the first time surprised Tennessee. Second time they shouldn't have been surprised. This is a matchup thing. Tennessee has played better down the stretch. Even though they lost to Ole Miss, I thought Tennessee played great against Ole Miss. I like Tennessee here. I think it's going to be tough to beat Tennessee 3 times in a row. But Butler's back. I thought Big Blue Nation played their best game of the year against Illinois. They looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
They were defending. They looked like a totally different team. If that Big Blue Nation, look, just telling you, I can't wait for Cole to reclip this. Just telling you, if Big Blue Nation gets through Tennessee on Saturday night, heads up, just letting everybody know, if Big Blue Nation gets through Tennessee on Saturday night, heads up. Be ready for a run. Just telling you. I saw something.
What's the earliest Kentucky and Arkansas could play each other?
Last game.
That'd be amazing.
Last game of the year.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, last game.
That's a shame. Because
that's must-see TV.
That would be.
What would you give for that? For the championship game?
I was in the media room on Saturday in Milwaukee when the Arkansas St. John's game was going on the TVs in front of us.
I told you about St. John's.
And Kentucky was doing media stuff, and I won't name names.
I will. Who is it?
No.
Text me.
There were some Kentucky media types that were really upset about Cal winning.
I don't understand that.
Well, it's funny because Kentucky won on Sunday, and I was leaving the arena at 11:15, going back to the hotel to work more, and I'm on a shuttle with a couple of Kentucky writers, and I'm like, I don't get it. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like,
Y'all wanted him to go.
It feels like everybody won here in the Cal-Kentucky thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, no, seriously. I mean, Kentucky wanted a Kentucky coach who would embrace Kentucky. You got one. Mark Pope's done a great job. They're in the Sweet 16. You wanted Cal to leave. He left. He clearly needed kind of a reset. He looked sort of refreshed. He won the other day. Ellen's in the stands, emotional. They won. Cal looks, he got Arkansas to the Sweet 16. And hell, BYU's in the Sweet 16. Everybody won.
Everybody won.
And you know the deal is, in today's modern media, in social media, that's the worst.
Because they don't.
We need someone to lose so that the winners can get in the losers' faces and essentially go, nanny, nanny, boo-boo.
Well, here's, in my opinion, the media that are mad about Cal, it's because they wanted him gone from Kentucky. And the last thing that they want is for Kentucky to be at home and Cal to be still playing.
Yeah, no.
That makes them look stupid.
But my point was, but
it's a personal thing. It's not the right thing.
It's just weird.
All right, Michigan and Auburn. I'm going to say the same thing. Auburn needs to be careful in this one. I think Auburn's more talented. Auburn should win, yada, yada, yada. Old Dusty May's got this March thing figured out pretty good. Michigan's playing well. Auburn's going to have to play in this one. I think this is closer than people want it to be. I think Auburn wins.
Yeah.
I do think it's closer than people want it to be. And then we get here's what I'm interested in, is the old boy from Yale that wore out Broome last year. He's now playing at Michigan.
Yeah, well, I think
there's some matchups there. Just saying.
I think Auburn probably ends up coming out of this regional, but I think they're going to obviously
to earn it.
They're going to have to earn it. It's not going to be a walk in the park, no matter who they play.
I would like to see Broome you be pissed off. Like, you got me last year, even though you're wearing a different uniform.
Yeah,
let's go play. I want to watch that one. All right, and to me, the worst team remaining, Purdue, is playing Houston. I think Houston walks Purdue. I don't think Purdue is going to be very competitive in that game.
I agree.
Last thing, our bracket. We got. I had to start thinking. We have a 10-way tie for first place right now.
Okay.
And a lot of those people already. We have in the 10-way tie for the first place in the bracket. Let's go.
Sorry.
We got
Carson sent me something.
10-way tie for first place, all with 550. And then we have a 6-way tie for max points at 1830. So if this thing goes chalk the rest of the way, I'm going to have to come up with a tiebreaker on the old bracket winner. I started thinking about the other day when I looked at it. I was like, damn, we got a 10-way tie for first. Yeah. We got 800. I think it was 827 in there. So, but we got 6 tied with max points. So if it goes chalk, if Florida runs this thing, we're going to. Hopefully it'll work itself out between now and then. We can just have one winner. Typically it does.
If it doesn't, we'll figure it out.
So that's all I got today, boss.
All right, we have been brought to you by our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits, achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Scoops, tomorrow you're leaving.
I am.
And you're going to Atlanta.
I am.
And if something happens and you just need a ride, stop by Kia of Meridian. Big savings are happening right now at Kia of Meridian. You can get $10,000 in rebates and 0% financing on select vehicles. Plus, for a limited time, they're matching your down payment up to $2,500. That means more car for your money all month long. Don't wait. These deals won't last. Visit Kia of Meridian today. Kia of Meridian, where great deals drive home with you. Give them a call at area code 601-483-6444. And remember this, Scoops. If you just happen to go down and see Trav and all the good folks at Kia of Meridian, and you decide to ride off with one, you know what you're going to get to do?
Spin the wheel.
And win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, and more. So check them out at Kia of Meridian today.
All right. I don't really know what the schedule for the rest of the week is. I've got media on Thursday at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, so I'll be pretty tied up. So don't really know what our plans are.
We'll figure it out.
But we'll figure something out, or we won't.
We probably will. We usually do.
Whatever.
Usually do. We will.
We'll let you know one way or the other. Thanks for being with us.
Have your notifications turned on.
Yeah, have your notifications
turned on. That way, when Scoops goes, he's 6 bottles deep in the old Trump wine, then he'll like, hey, let's do a show.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. We need to get you live after. We need to go after dark, just shit faced after dark. I'll have an easy.
I need to be careful with that.
No, that's entertainment.
Yeah, well,
it'll be fun.
Yeah. It's true.
It'll be fun.
All right. We'll see y'all later in the week. Have a great day.
See you.